Hello there, how are you? Hope you're well. I'm Liam Haddock and welcome to another edition of Worth the Buy, but for this one, if you're in the UK, worth the stream due to BBC iPlayer. Following on from last week's upload, this week is another Bruce Willis classic, but not one that many people talk about or even remember. Following Sky's adaptation of The Day of the Jackal, we're going to look into the very 90s covering of the story. This week, we're getting a target, sorting out dodgy passports, and killing multiple people. This week, we're assassinating the Jackal.
A pro calls himself the Jackal.
Please like, comment, share and subscribe, as it really means a lot to me, and as well, I'm trying to spread the love for some well-known, lesser-known, and oft-forgotten gems. Like I said, with the recent adaptation of The Day of the Jackal, which has been an eldest and Mrs. Haddock's must-view for the past few weeks, I find it quite the perfect time to cover the 90s thriller inspired by the original story. At the end of the day, the Jackal follows a hitman known only as the Jackal.
Jackal! It's a jackal! It looks like a jackal! 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 It's a jackal!
And the team consisting of American, Russian, and a Northern Irish IRA man hunting him, which sounds like some sort of Soviet joke. MVD, FBI, and IRA walk into bar. It's a true 90s cat and mouse thriller, and I think one of Bruce Willis's most underrated roles. I say underrated because whenever anyone talks of his career, this and another film that I will cover at some point, Mercury Rising, are underrated gems in the Willis filmography. In an unusual turn for Bruce Willis, he plays the villain in this 90s reimagining of the 70s classic The Day of the Jackal, based off the book of the same name. Now, the original author and director of the 70s film disliked the approach and filed an injunction leading to the film being titled The Jackal, and also for it to just be inspired by. Following a raid causing the death of a Russian mobster's family, a hit is put out on a high-ranking American official using the Jackal, the infamous assassin who's rarely ever been seen. With the FBI calling in the assistance of IRA man Declan Mulqueen, played by Richard Gere, to thwart the Jackal, we're led to a cat and mouse chase in a race against time to protect the target. I've mentioned it a lot already, the 90s. The music is 90s. The cinematography, the action scenes, the type of technology, the dramatic turn and locking of eyes. It's all so 90s, and that's part of this film's charm. It's the epitome of a 90s action thriller, which has been a genre that, following the Bourne series and similar, has become a bit of a shaky cam, quick cut mess. Whereas The Jackal is that great level of intrigue and action. I mean, when it comes to how the film looks, it's best to say 90s. You've got your dramatic turn and stares with added dramatic music. You've got your opening credits. You've got the music, the dress sense, the hairstyle. It's just 90s. The cast is a fantastic mix of differing actors from a range of genres, whether it's the stoic face of the great dramatic actor Sidney Poitier in his final theatrically released film.
Fuck you! Alright, that's enough!
Action hero Bruce Willis in one of the few roles where he's an out-and-out, cold-hearted villain, and this film always made me yearn for more Willis villain roles.
Yeah, Charlie Murdoch. Picking up a delivery, eh?
The stunning and talented Diane Venora as Russian MVD agent Major Valentina Kozlova.
I see everything.
And in a role really out of sorts for him, Richard Gere playing Declan Mulqueen, a former IRA man currently held in an American prison. We'll come back to that character in particular in a moment.
Souvenirs, British hospitality.
On top of the main cast, you also have some true surprise cameos. Yeah, at the time, some will have not been a cameo, but more of a small role in a big film for them. Some fitting in that role is a younger, I ain't saying young, but a younger J.K. Simmons.
Please don't shoot me.
A younger Jack Black, being Jack Black.
That motherfucker is state-of-the-art!
A surprise early role for Daniel Day-Kim. Seriously, it's like his third film, which may actually be my favourite role of anyone. You've trained your whole career, you're a sniper and you're called on to protect a high-up dignitary. Give your gun to this Northern Irish man who we've just let out of prison a couple of days ago. Sad times, man. And a surprise for British watchers, Leslie Phillips shows up for like 2 lines. I will admit, having watched the new TV show The Day of the Jackal, there are some things that this earlier inspired by version does better. Firstly, and this is a personal bugbear, we don't need Jackal's family. We shouldn't be rooting for him. Really, he's the villain. He's the killer. Also in the same vein as that, those hunting the Jackal in this film are highly likeable. No matter what you think of Gere's accent or Poitier's stoicism, you'll like the characters. Gere is as charismatic as always, and Poitier, well, he's Poitier. I mean, as opposed to the goody with a bigger death toll than the villain. I mean, seriously, she's got so much blood in her hands in that show, and even speaking with other people about it, they just found her super unlikable, which is a shame because Redmayne does do the Jackal well. Now, a bit of a sidetrack here. This section, I ain't going to be talking about its editing, acting, score. No, this week, something struck me watching it. A really good representation of a gay club and gay men. I'm not joking. If you listen to some corners of the internet, anything pre-2015 is problematic. I'm not here to start a culture war, I'm here to call out some great work in a film and during an era where gay representation on screen wasn't always the best. But that's not what we get in The Jackal. What we get is a nightclub filled with gay men in work, going out attire. The club isn't dark and dingy and filled with leather daddy bears. It's a contemporary view of the scene at the time, which makes sense considering following a test screening, people cheered at the death of a gay man, and it came to the attention of GLAAD, GLAAD, which led to Chaz Bono, yes, son of Sonny and Cher, to speak with the director and producer, and upon the conversation it was re-edited and possibly even reshot, because maybe why Bruce Willis has the Fifth Element blonde hair in there. On top of that, Bruce Willis is said to have fought to get the gay kiss to stay in, which, again, in an era where gay representation was shown as like gay panic or comedically flamboyant, here you have action hero John McClane himself kissing another man. So to Bruce Willis, I salute you. Now, I'm not saying that the 97 Jackal movie is a cinematic masterpiece. This film is an oft-forgotten gem. If you've got 2 hours to kill and you haven't watched it, give it a watch. Bruce Willis, with his plethora of wigs, moustaches and accents, is a delight to watch on screen. Richard Gere is as charismatic as ever, and I believe this is possibly the first film I actually saw him in, as I'd avoided most of his romantic dramedies. And I will admit, not one of the worst accents either. I'm not saying he's hands down the best Northern Irish accent, but he's 100% not the worst. Now, if you enjoyed something like US Marshals, the sequel to The Fugitive, or even The Fugitive, maybe you enjoy your Patriot games or other Tom Clancy fare, but it's likely you'll enjoy this. So there we have it, another worth the buy, or if you're in the UK, worth the stream, because apparently it's got over a year left on iPlayer anyway, and last time we watched it a couple of years ago, it had over a year left on iPlayer, so give it a watch. I've been Lyrin Haddock, hope you have a good Christmas, catch you next time.